Alright, guys, we're back for... What are we in? Like round 13 or 14? One of the two. This is like the cancer week. Hold on, I'd like starting on this page. Yeah. Oh, come on, any day now. Not too bad of a week. I thought it would be a bit worse, but once we get into the team, you'll see that there was a couple of big scores from players that you needed it from. Probably the most disappointing score was Gorn. A lot of people had him captain, but yeah, it happens. 1930, top 10, well, inside the top 10% for a score. Didn't move up as much as I thought I would in rank. I thought that this was better than what it ended up being. I think top score was 2200, which is sort of surprising, I guess. But a lot of the big scores were common players. Now, look at all the blue dots. This next round is bad. I'd say this is in contention for the worst buy round in Supercoach history, honestly. Just because of the amount of teams with relevant players out. And all these guys are popular. Like, everyone's got Laird, everyone's got Lloyd. Most people have Short, statistically. I think he has like a 35% ownership, so a lot of people have him. May's not as popular, but a lot of people have him. Brayshaw, a lot of people brought in when he was super low. What is he? He was like 470k, maybe even lower. Gorn, of course, everyone has. Grundy, because he's injured, they won't put the blue dot, but I don't know why they won't put the blue dot there. Just put it there. Everyone has them. Dusty, a lot of people have him. I think he's probably the highest picked player outside Rucks. The Rucks I don't count in pick percentage, but you know what I mean. Yeah, a lot of these people are very common, so I'd say this probably is the worst buy round in Supercoach history. But get into it. What are we already 2 minutes in? Let's get into some scores. Laird, great game. The Cromback, the game of the week, easily in my opinion. That was, I don't know how they managed to come back. They were scoreless in the first quarter. You know, only happened so many times. They've been scoreless in the first quarter. Probably one of the few, like I'd say maybe 3 times that the team that was scoreless came back to win. That's yeah, it's very good. Phil Thorpe, it's just hard for me to say because I've got a lisp, is the hero, and he's probably going to be like a cult legend forever now because he kicked it behind his head, like in front, off foot behind his head. Yeah, that was a fun game to watch, especially the ending. Laird played great, huge fourth quarter, kind of like the second half of the third quarter and the fourth quarter. I saw it and I was like, he's not going amazing. He's probably going to end on like 100 kind of, and then he just turned it up. Perfect, exactly what I needed. Kind of him and Steele swapped. I thought Steele was going for like 150. I was like, I should have captained him, and I had like thoughts about putting the vice captain on him and then captaining Kelly. Either way, I would have got Kelly. Don't get me wrong about that. I knew that this big score was coming. Yeah, so luckily enough, he got tagged by Sloan, or like half tagged. Yeah, and it slowed him down, so that's pretty good. Lloyd 104, Sydney just did not look good at all. They ended up losing, didn't they, by a fair bit? Yeah, against Hawthorn. That's and he came off. He didn't come off, but at the end of the game, he was a bit hurt. I don't know how much there is in that, because now they have the bye week, so you know, gives him time to relax and rest up a bit. Stewart 130, easily a top 3 defender this year. Honestly, maybe even the best. I don't know. It's probably between him, Mills, and Laird. I don't think Lloyd's up there this year. I know his average is high, so it kind of sounds stupid saying that he's not, but I've just found his scores like slightly too inconsistent compared to previous years. Yeah, Stewart's been great, and the Geelong defense is perfect for Supercoach because they just kick it around. Like, I'm trying to think of like an example. Probably like Arsenal, honestly. They're just old Arsenal. Now they're a bit more attacking. They're still bad, but like they just passed around the back. It's great for Supercoach. And the other team that does it, North Melbourne, everyone just wants to stock up on their players. So yeah, take it. Whitfield off game, but I kind of found this out like 5 minutes before the game started. His worst scoring team, again, like his worst scores always come against North. That's like his lowest average. So I guess that kind of just fits the story, fits the narrative that he'd score 74. Some parts he was a bit stiff, like a lot of his kicks, he would kick down the line and it would just be like a North player intercepts it, when like usually a player wouldn't intercept it. Like it takes like a special player to intercept it, and North did it, and that's why North really should have won that one. They just kind of let up at the end. Short 111, good game from him. Needed one because the Hooley like impact in his scores was starting to get annoying, so that's pretty good from him. And May 111 as well, so 3 111s if you count Highmore, which we'll get into that in a second. It's great. May was around about this price when I brought him in, maybe a bit less. I think it was closer to like $3.99. That's great, 90 average. I think he stays around there. Maybe he goes up to like 93, but I don't see much higher. This is probably going to be one of his better games for the rest of the season. Yeah, and Highmore. This came out of nowhere. And of course, there was no way for me to get him on field. Like, it doesn't even matter that I didn't have the E on him. There's no way I could have got him on field, which is just so typical. That's so typical. I know there was someone out there that was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to field Highmore, like off a limb, and he ends up getting 111. That's, oh my god, that's typical this year. McRae had bye. These two here, McRae and Lyons, I thought like, oh no, not going to score great because they're both out, and that's where like this year a lot of my scores came from, like the midfield. Missing 3 of the big ones with Merritt, and Walsh is always pretty good for some points. Thought, oh damn, this week's gonna suck, but not too bad. Took the right vice captain, 147, amazing game from Kelly. I'd say first quarter was, pardon me, a little bit slow, but kind of just picked up. Like the end of the first quarter, he got like heaps of touches. Second quarter, I think he had like 16 touches, something like that in the second quarter. It went crazy. I thought at halftime, it was like, oh, this could be like a 180 or something like that. Didn't end up getting that high, but still very high, 150. Walsh was the loop. Brayshaw, this is probably going to be the luxury trade here. The way I've worked it out, it's 5 trades to get in Dangerfield. So 5 trades for 1 upgrade. Should leave me with about 3 injury trades left. And seeing how everything goes, if people are durable, a luxury trade here in Brayshaw, and I think Impey's just got to go. I think Impey's going to be involved in bringing in Danger. So yeah, that's all accounted for. Bianco, just bad game. Collingwood played good. Obviously, they beat the top of the ladder, but yeah, Bianco didn't play too good. So now I'm slightly worried about his job security because this new coach, or not a new coach, he's already in the system, but you know what I mean. New person, new game plan. Newcomb set a rookie record for tackles in his first game, so hopefully that keeps up. The only thing is, I hope this doesn't turn into a Sam Berry situation where very good at tackling, but that's it. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And it didn't look like it. It did look like he can get a fair bit of the ball. He was at a lot of CBAs. He looks like a tough player. Should be good. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. The Rucks, Gawn. I think this is like the 3rd time this has happened where you're like, oh, this is a Gawn 160 easily. He's up against like an inexperienced ruck, or a not ruck that's just filling in. Surely this is a 160. and it just doesn't happen. He was on like 40 at halftime. It's terrible. Like, for Gawn standards, that's really bad. He ended up picking it up. He had like a 70-point second half or an 80-point second half. So, yeah, it's... I don't think... no, you know, I'm not going to go that far yet. But, yeah, and the Reeves thing, I'll get into that. That would be in trades. That annoyed me so much. If I had waited like an extra hour, I would have seen it. Hall 141. What a absolute legend is Aaron Hall. I'm getting that Aaron Hall jersey. The way him and Zeeble play is so ugly to watch, but it is so amazing to watch. They just uncontested kick it to themselves. I hate seeing that because it's not entertaining, but I love seeing that. That's what a game plan from North. I wonder why they only have one win. Dusty 110, great game for him. West Coast won, so I'm happy about that. I'd get the scarf down, but it's kind of got a couple of things on it. Yep, but Dusty played good. He's got the bye now, so hopefully he rests up and he comes back for a good second half. Kind of gets his average up to 100. I'd like that a bit more. Impey, man, this is not good. I was really hoping Impey would be a keeper, and a lot of people need him to be a keeper, so I've got to see what happened here. Against North, what happened? Because maybe against St Kilda, I'll have a look. Usually I can tell a fair bit from a heat map, if they changed role or position, something like that. I've got to have a look, because this isn't right. He shouldn't be scoring 51 from half back, and he only had like, I want to say 14 touches. He should be closer to 20 on half back, especially like in 2021. Yeah, that's very annoying, and it's likely a trade. I don't think you can keep him. Hawthorn, they won, but they're not a good team. They're gonna finish second last. So, and I'm not too sure on how their schedule's gonna open up. Yeah, GWS isn't a good matchup for them. Let's just go to a random one. Against Adelaide, it's not too bad, but yeah, Impey's probably a trade. Poulter 61. That's a good game from him. He missed, I want to say, 2 relatively easy shots on goal. And you know, they're not. One was very easy, and the other one was like, you know, you probably should make it as a professional, but you know, it's whatever. And Coleman Jones, well, they played good, but ended up losing because Josh Kennedy. So for trades, I think Poulter, it's time for him to go. I don't think he's maxed out yet, but his max is probably about like 10k more, so I don't need that for the trades I'm doing. Who else? I did this before. I think Lockie Jones. His break-even's now up to about 40-ish. His score was a bit stiff as well, Lockie Jones. I think he could have got a bit higher. Just he came onto the game a little bit too late, like started doing stuff. Then for defense, how I might have to cut here and see how I did this. All right, so that took a little bit longer than I thought it would. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts this week, so it takes a little bit. But essentially, it's Poulter, Jones, and Waitman, who I think you could keep Waitman. It's convenient for me to trade him now for a player that's, you know, a bit better. For Langford, who's on a roll, I want to see what happens when Shield comes back, if that's just going to kill the pick. If it does, and season's over. Bontempelli, who, like, he's probably going to have one more price drop, but it's convenient for me to bring him in now. So that's the trades. And Luke Edwards, who I'm going early on. Maybe it's a bit of West Coast bias. Maybe, you know, everyone will think it now. I thought he was really good in his first game last week against Carlton. I thought he looked really good. Deserved a bit higher than 63, probably closer to 70s. And then last week against Richmond, he really showed up. I think he's someone worthy of going early on. He has got the bye this week, so you do have to wait 2 weeks for a price rise, which isn't great, but considering the midfield situation, I don't think it's too bad because I'll be finished. Yeah, finished midfield. That's done. If I want to trade Brayshaw, I can maybe at the end of the year. If I do, it would be to Oliver. We'll see how that goes. And then forward line, let's just get him on. It will be something here. Impy maybe. I like Toby Green. I don't like, but there's Robbie Gray and Taron Thomas, who's like kind of my dark horse pick. That Taron Thomas pick, I'll be watching North versus Brisbane to see that. So, and now that I'm saying it, when you think it in your head, it's like, oh, that's maybe a good idea, but when you say it, it's like, maybe not. So this could be Toby Green, and this is Danger. The final player in the forward line is going to be Danger, unless he like stinks it up. If he stinks it up, then of course I'm not bringing him in. But yeah, that's the situation. There's not much left. This is the bad buy round. I've got 15 playing, if Reeves play, which he won't. I don't see them dogging Segler, but yeah. So 14 playing. I know everyone else is going to have a bad week, so yeah, good luck to everyone. Tasty out.